So this is the 2006 Mercedes-Benz E55 AMG Wagon. It's unlocked by getting 20 points as a seasonal milestone. And yeah, this vehicle is actually kind of surprising, really. I wasn't expecting us to get this vehicle because it didn't seem like a vehicle that they were going to add, to be honest. So obviously this vehicle was actually leaked at some point. I think someone said that they scanned it or something. But I honestly wasn't actually expecting them to add this vehicle to the game. It doesn't seem like a vehicle that they would add to the game. It's sort of obscure and not something I thought they were going to add. So it is kind of surprising that they did add this in the end. Yeah, I will admit I am a fan of this generation of Mercedes. Personally, I would prefer it if they added the version that's on screen of Mercedes wagons. I can't remember what it's called now, but like that version, I'm a big fan of that version. I think it looks cool, but obviously it didn't add that in, and I don't think they ever will. But we've got this version, so that's okay, I suppose. Yeah, I wonder if there's like any upgrades in terms of wide body kits or aero options for this vehicle. I don't know, there could be, there couldn't be. But let's go and actually upgrade this vehicle now, I suppose. So now let's go and upgrade the vehicle. So first things first, I'm not expecting there are going to be any sort of wide body kits for this vehicle, and there isn't, and any aero options aside from Forza Aero, which, yeah, there's just Forza Aero basically. So I want to go and actually do the wheels first, I think. So I've got a plan for what wheels I'm going to use for this vehicle, although I don't know if they would look good or not. So all that's done. I'm thinking about keeping like these stock tyres basically. Yeah, I'm going to keep these stock tyres. That might be a bad idea, I don't know, but yeah, the rims I want to use are these. But I'm not sure if they would look good. They do look okay. I might paint them though. So obviously I could use them as well, or maybe even something like that, maybe. I don't know, I've got a very specific theme I've got for this vehicle. So I don't really want to do anything else, so I'm going to use them, I think. And obviously I'm going to lower it as well. So yeah, there you go. I was actually tempted to do like a drift build for this vehicle, but in the end I've decided against it, purely because I just want to drive this vehicle around a little bit. So obviously I'm going to do weight reduction as well. And I think that's it. Oh yeah, obviously the engine parts as well. So it's got a supercharger, that's surprising. So I wasn't expecting there to be a supercharger. I can't remember the last car we actually had in terms of updates that had a supercharger. I can't remember what it was. I think it was one of the muscle cars pretty much, so that's kind of surprising. So obviously I'm going to do all this sort of stuff as well. So yeah, pretty much that. Yeah, I was actually tempted to do a drift build for this vehicle, but I kind of want to do one. I will do one at some point, I'd imagine, but yeah, I kind of want to do one where I actually know what I'm kind of doing with this car, like in terms of drift builds. But yeah, that's it done, basically. So let's go and actually go and paint the vehicle now, I suppose. So moving on to the paint, I'm not sure what to expect. I will admit, it doesn't actually look that bad just in this paint scheme, actually. Yeah, it doesn't look that bad. So obviously this is silver, I guess, or maybe white. I'm not 100% sure. Sort of a silvery white, I guess. There's also burgundy, which is the colour I might choose, actually. There's also this sort of green colour, a jade green colour, I guess. Blue, darker blue, black, and silver. Okay, so that's the silver colour. So I'm not sure what I'm going to go and choose. I might paint it black. I might paint it burgundy. Or actually, I could paint it silver, I suppose. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to go paint it silver, like the bottom silver. I don't know. I don't know what the difference between that version and this version is, but I think I'm going to paint it the bottom silver. I'm going to paint the rims black. So yeah, I'm going to paint the rims black in terms of matte paint. And that's it done, I think. Oh yeah, I'm going to tint the windows as well. So it's not a bad looking vehicle, actually. It really isn't a bad looking vehicle. So obviously it is like a, I don't know, it's just not a bad looking vehicle in terms of what I've done to it, really. Yeah, let's go and actually drive this vehicle now, because I wonder what it drives like. So obviously this vehicle was actually leaked at some point. I think it was something along the lines of someone had their car scanned and they scanned this one as well. But overall, it is kind of surprising they did add this, at least to me. I thought this was going to be one of those vehicles that just appear as like a leaked vehicle but never actually gets added. Because we've actually had quite a few of those vehicles, at least in Forza Horizon 4 and 5, that never actually made their way to the game for some reason or the other. Actually, I think even maybe like Forza Horizon 3 in like the dev build, they found cars that never made their way to the game, unfortunately. But yeah, this vehicle overall, it's not bad. I do like the handling of it. Obviously, I did try and sort of make it basically a cruiser type vehicle, I guess you could say, or pretty much like a vehicle that could be driven around. That really hasn't actually worked that well because it just likes to drift. So it's good for a drift build, I suppose, and I definitely will do a drift build at some point for this vehicle. But yeah, I've kind of put too much power into it, I guess, and like the supercharger and all that sort of stuff. It's not as bad as like the Ford Focus ST though. Yeah, overall this isn't a bad vehicle, and I'm glad that they added it, and I'm glad it saw a day probably in the first video game ever really for this vehicle actually. I don't know if it's in any other video games. Yeah, this is a nice addition. Obviously, I will cover the other vehicles, so please like and subscribe and do all that sort of stuff. And stay tuned for more, I guess. Because I don't actually know I think it's the BMW M5 coming next. So yeah, stay tuned for that, I suppose.